are you just so consistent, like the tide, night in and night out?
My whole life is consistent. Everything I do, from what I eat to when I sleep, to my recovery, to my loved ones, everything's consistent. And it's a routine for me at this point.
Coming off a good day, 2-1 on our straight bets. Still a disappointing day because we had a 7-leg parlay that missed by the same bet that we missed in our straight bets. So the Knicks and Bulls, we had over 211, we had over 212, depending on what you got. We just missed a 7-leg parlay by there. So if you listen to the video, had a lot of gems for you in there. We were right about the Spurs. We were right about the Raptors. They both won outright. We called the Warriors +5, way too many points. And we thought the Suns would also win. But being the last leg of the parlay, we didn't want to trust it against the spread. They did still cover the 4.5, though. So they won 97-87. But, man, this thing would have hit. I would have... at least called out of work today. But on to today. We have 4 games to talk about. Let's go ahead and get into it. What's up, everybody? Crash here. Welcome back to Crash Gets the Spread, where we talk about sports from a betting perspective. It is April 6th, Saturday, and we have 4 NBA games to talk about. The first one up is the Cavs and the Lakers. Lakers are home favorites, 4.5 points. Totals at 230. Let's check that. It's been fluctuating since last night. We are at 229.5. So, money bets on the Lakers. That's kind of where I am too. They're at the number 9 seed right now. Cavs are in the 3 seed on the East, and I just think that the motivation lies on the Lakers to get as far out of that play-in tournament as possible, and for everybody in the Western Conference in that 5 to 9 block. Anything can happen. So, the Lakers actually mathematically have a chance to move up to the 6th. So, looking at the injury report, it looks the same as it always does. But I expect all these guys to play. Looking at Cleveland's side, Mitchell's back, Strus is back. The only notable guys that are out are Dean Wade and Okoro. Porter Jr. and Jerome are also out, but these guys have all been out for a while. So I believe that the Lakers are going to play their guys. They're going to take this one seriously, and I would lean on them to cover the 5 points at home. Next game up is going to be the Pistons and the Nets. I like the Nets because the Pistons are in a back-to-back. Normally, this would be a situation where, 9 points, I would try to look towards the Pistons' way because the Brooklyn Nets aren't too far above them as far as records go and season play has gone. But Pistons on a back-to-back, I think I can only look towards the Nets. Pistons lost to the Grizzlies yesterday. The Grizzlies looked like a more competitive young team than the Pistons, and the Pistons are just missing their best player in Cade Cunningham. He's questionable tonight. Fontecchio is out. Gibson's out. Grimes is out. So, yeah, they're just, really depleted at this part of the season. That means nothing to either team. So, Brooklyn, a more healthy team. Maybe trying to take some momentum into next year. I'll ride with them against these bad teams. So Brooklyn minus the 9. I don't like it, but that's where I'm leaning. 76ers and the Grizzlies. Grizzlies are 12.5-point home favorite, home underdogs. Totals at 210. Looking at the game yesterday that the Grizzlies played against the Pistons, I think 12 points is a lot for a team that will compete. My angle on this one is Joel Embiid is slightly still on a minutes restriction. I do believe that they'll be winning a lot of this game. And in that case, I don't think that Joel will have to play a lot in the second half. And there's room for a backdoor cover with 12.5 points. So Grizzlies are, I guess, young and dumb enough to not stop playing hard. A lot of these guys played in the G League and want to prove themselves and want to work on contracts for next year and things of that nature. So they're not going to phone it in being down 20 points. They're still going to be playing. So as soon as Joel sits, as soon as Maxey sits, there's room for this back door if they're not already covering throughout the game. So that's my thought process behind that. Memphis plus 12.5. And last game, we got the Hawks and the Nuggets. Nuggets are 12-point home favorites. And I know we just did this 2 nights ago with the Hawks and the Mavs. Hawks lost by 14 instead of 12. We're at the same exact number. But I'm on the Hawks again. I think 12 points is too many for a Denver team who's not trying to do anything but be healthy going into the playoffs. So whereas the Mavs still trying to catch the 4 seed, still trying to change their seeding per se. I don't think the Denver Nuggets care about that. I think they just want to be healthy. So I can see a 5-point win. I can see a 6-point win. I can see a 2-point win, a buzzer beater. I can see a loss, technically. Looking at the standings, Denver's in the 2 seed, tied with Timberwolves. I just think they want to be top 3. So there's still a game above the Thunder, and there's still a couple games left in the season. So looking at what they have coming up, they have the Jazz, the Timberwolves, the Spurs, and the Grizzlies as their last 5 games of the season. So they could technically win 3 of the last 5. And I think be happy with that. The Timberwolves have a slightly tougher schedule. They still have a gimme in there with the Wizards. And all the games are at home, it looks like, except for their next. No. They play Lakers on the road. They play Denver on the road. They play Washington, Atlanta, and then Phoenix in the last game of the season, all at home. So I'd say we definitely got, 2 wins for sure, possibly 3 out of 2 or 3 out of 5 again for the Timberwolves. So those standings in the West are going to be, razor thin in 1, 2, 3. And then in 4 through 10, anything can happen still at this point. So it's just really jumbled up in the Western Conference as far as playoffs go, and all these teams should still be trying. But the top 3, they're already in. They're already clinched. They're already going to be playing, and there's no way that they can fall below, 4. So I think that their thought process is a little bit different than the Clippers through the Warriors. So Hawks plus 12 for that one. If I had to pick my favorites, it would be I would say the Lakers -4 and the Grizzlies plus 12.5. Then I would go Hawks plus 12, and then last is the Nets -9. So in that order, those are my picks, favorite to least favorite. Lock those in. Let's get this money, and we will be back tomorrow to talk some more NBA. I also like in the college, I like NC State plus 9.5, and I like the over 161. Let's see where it's at in the 161.5 in the Alabama and UConn game. So those are going to be all my picks. Lock those in. Let's get this money, and we will be back tomorrow to talk.